What is up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers first party review. Masterpiece review. Today we're looking at the Takara MP 56 Trailbreaker. Actually Trailbreaker. Not just a guy who coincidentally happens to look like Trailbreaker. No, this is actual Trailbreaker. And he has let himself go. But that would be throwing stones, as I have also let myself go. So it's all the discussion of that. So here's the Masterpiece Trailbreaker, and my initial thoughts of it is that his proportions seem a little weird to me. I don't like them quite as much. He's a little thin in the waist. Got like the muffin top going on. And just like the leg to arm ratio, I don't know. Something about him's a little weird. I think, so my friend who loaned me this is a huge fan of Trailbreaker. Trailbreaker is, in fact, I believe, his favorite Transformer. And so he's got all of the Trailbreakers. And he sent me a shot of all of them lined up. And like all the ones from all the third-party ones, including like both of, I don't know, some company released two of them. I don't remember exactly which. And I think of all of them, the one that I like the look of best is the X-Transbots one. But I don't know. But yeah, so there's the Masterpiece Trailbreaker. And, oh yeah, another thing I want to mention out, he's this like, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but like, he's not black. He's this like gray color. And he kind of sticks out from the other Trailbreakers in that regard because they're all done in like a black plastic, except this one is definitely done in like a gray plastic. Though if my, indication on the screen is any indication, then it's going to look black on your end. And I unfortunately didn't borrow any other Trailbreakers to compare them against, so I can't show you exactly what I'm talking about. Because I'm lame. Anyhow, let's talk about accessories. So he comes with alternate faces, as they all do. He's got the happy Trailbreaker face. And he has an angry Trailbreaker face. And all you do is you just grab his face and you just yank it off. And then you take the new one and you plug it on. And now he's got a new face. He's got a new expression. He comes with an alternate hand that you can plug into his other hand here. So you take this guy here and crack this open. And there's this wrist joint down there. The rest of it stayed up here. But you can swap it out for his other hand. So he's got two hands. Or you can swap it out for this little like, I think that's like a tractor thingamajig, tractor generator. And that, I believe, you can plug in this little blast accessory into. Though I think the blast accessory also plugs into his little cannon up here. Yes. So you've got options for that. You can also take this little shield projector here, I believe, and plug this in up here. I haven't actually done this before because this is not an essential part of the like there's definitely slots there. And there it goes. So, yeah, he's got a radar dish, shield projector that sticks in up above his head. And he also comes with an alternate bumper. This is actually the one that comes installed in the package. This is the alternate bumper. Not the same sculpt, but it's got more of the, like, cartoon accuracy look going on. This is the one that my friend decided to install. I've tried pulling this off. It like slides a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, and it seemed kind of sketchy, and so I was like, maybe not. But anyhow, let me get this swapped back out for his gun cannon arm. This end kind of wobbles about. So, oh, and by the way, you can take this and attach this into there as well. At least you should be able to. Yeah, there you go. But anyhow, so let's talk about posability real quick. He's got his little guns here are on little hinges. They go up and down and whatnot. This one has a hinge that goes out to the side. I'm not entirely sure. I initially thought that maybe it was something to assist in transformation, but I've never needed to use that anytime I've transformed this guy. The same sort of articulation on this one here. This does have a joint that definitely aids in transformation. You can't transform it without using that joint. His head is on a universal, so it goes up and down a bit and turns about, and no, I guess there's a tiny amount. Maybe it is a ball joint. Just a tiny amount of wiggle waggle, but it's basically swivel and a little bit of up and down. His arms will go all the way around, full 360. Will go up that far at the shoulder. There is a little bit of butterfly in here. Use it. It feels like there's like a motion, like a joint in, and you can see there's like this like cut right here where there's like supposed to be like a motion in here, but I haven't seen any indication that something actually moves there. So maybe I'm just wrong. He's got a bicep swivel, single bend at the elbow for over 90 degrees. This is just the gun arm. His hands have got rotation like so, bend like that. He's got a bend on his thumb, single joint on his thumb. His trigger finger has got two joints there, and then the three fingers have got the same two joints. So he can make a halfway decent fist. So that's not bad, actually. Waist joint goes side to side, and ab crunch. The legs have got their usual amount of the leg armor goes with the leg. They kind of like suck up in there, which is nice. That his leg goes that far forward and that far back. He does have a little side skirt armor here. His leg will do, we'll say 95% of a Van Damme. Thigh swivel, single joint at the knee for over 90 degrees of bend. And then his foot has got, there's a couple joints in here. There's a joint way up there. And then there's a joint that brings us down a bit. But then there's also a joint here and a joint here. So he's got lots of joints. Plus he's got, you can flip his heel a little bit and his toe a little bit. So fairly posable feats. And that's Trailbreaker in a nutshell. I mean, I don't really have any real complaints about him. Like I said, he feels kind of big and bulky to me. Maybe that's just because I've, like, Takar's thing is that they make a especially these days that they've redone their imagining for the Masterpiece line. Masterpiece line used to be like, oh, well, what if this was like an actual, existed in real life kind of a thing? Back with, MP1 and MP2, all the way up through about MP9, I want to say. And then actually up through MP10 easily. Well, how far did they take that? I guess I'm not sure exactly where that delineation happened. I know that Sunstreaker was the first one that I noticed that they were like, oh, they really made big steps to make this animation accurate instead of like, instead of more like technical in nature, they made it more smoothie in nature. So maybe that was where it started, but I'd have to look at a list to know for sure. But anyhow, lately with their things, they've all been as animation accurate as they can be. And so, what I was saying is that I'm used to the toys being more of a modern design, whereas the Takara is a very faithful like execution of an old design, like an old 80s cartoon design. So I don't know. I just feel like he's a little weird in the proportions, but to get him transformed up, we are going to just basically start from the top and slowly work our way down. Actually, first thing I'm going to do is work on the hands. So you want to come in. His cannon does go in with it. If it pops off, just pop it back on. You can take this and compress it all the way in, fold that in, and then fold this back up. And for this fist, we'll basically do the exact same thing. And again, if it all falls off, just kindly put it back on, fold it in, and fold it back up. Straighten these out. You're going to rotate this 180 degrees and then collapse it in. So rotate 180 degrees, collapse in. And there's the arms basically as done as they need to be. For the back here, you want to disconnect this clip right here. And that'll kind of start to pull everything apart. You can take this, well, actually, let's disconnect his head first. You want to take his head and basically tilt it forward till it pulls up on the panel that it's attached to. You want to disconnect that panel from the back. It's got little tabs in the front, and so when you're putting it in, you want to tab those in first and then lever this in. To get it out, you want to do the opposite, lever it out, and that'll take care of you there. All of this will start to disconnect. You've got some tabs here. You want to undo those. And then on the underside here, you want to, these kind of pull out. And you can take these panels here and fold them out like so. Fold them out like so. And so what you can do is you can take this box and you can kind of like reassemble it using these other tabs so that it's more like a canopy instead of like his back. And I think that's actually really clever. I really like that. But that's just going to sit up there. You want to take these weapons. You're going to fold this out and then fold this around. For this one, you want to split this down the middle. Yeah, this is where I was talking about maybe that joint comes into handy. Into handy? What? So then with these facing backwards, then you want to take his arms and then you want to fold them. Gosh, come on. Can I stay focused a little bit? Take his arms facing forward, then fold them around like so. And while I'm in here, let's grab his windshield. And actually, let's disconnect this spinal column here. It just tabs into there. And you'll see a sliding hinge. This is where at the tip of my finger. Actually, I'm pointing it to on the video, but and we'll want to take that and slide that all the way up. That will free up this joint here. Let's put his head away while we're in here. I put his arms in before I put his head away. I always get ahead of myself. Head, right? Yeah, no. Look, I don't know why y'all come here, but it ain't for my witty banter and well-planned videos. Let me see if I can remember which way his head goes. You do want to fold his head in, and then you do want to put this panel back in just the way you took it out. So put those tabs in on the front first, and then lever this tab into place like so. Oh, yeah. So you do want to have his head when it comes in, so it's facing away from the windshield. His face is away from the windshield. And then that will allow you, there's a hinge that the windshield is connected to. Gosh, I wish I had better light in here. There's a hinge that the windshield's connected to, and that's going to go into a cavity, a hollow in the back of his head. That will allow his head to fold all the way back, like so. So he's wearing his spine like a hat. And then, when that's done, you can take these, fold these in so that his shoulders just like come straight over his face. And then these will kind of plug in. They're going to be like that, and like that. And then this whole thing is just going to kind of collapse in like so. Real quick, let's take a look at these little door hinges here. You kind of want to wiggle them out, bring them around, wiggle, open the windows. Bring it out. Bring it around. Now I did see on one of the promotional pictures for the MP56 that there was a thing done so that you could count on, you know, Takara to do this kind of crap, to like make even the animation errors able to be done. But there was basically a shot of him where the window, instead of looking blue, was black. And I was thinking that what you do is you fold this in and then you put them all together. But I am approximately 100% certain that there's not enough space for that window to sit in there. I tried it out once and I couldn't get it figured out. And there's no way to take that window off because it's in a pin. There's no way to take that window off and replace it with a a variation of the window that's accurate for that, one scene of that one episode of that one show from the 80s. I don't know. I think Takara is just straight up insane sometimes. But that is basically all of the upper stuff done. So let's focus on his legs real quick. This is actually going to go pretty easy. You want to take his leg and turn it at right here below the thigh. You can't turn it this way all the way around, so you have to turn them inwards, 180 degrees. There's a panel here on the, let me lower this down so that I don't have to struggle to be in frame. Open this guy up, and this will actually stay open. Open this guy up, and then the wheel is going to come out, and then you're going to fold in this panel here, like that. And then this whole thing is going to collapse in. And then you can take his toe, fold that up, fold this in to start making the rear bumper. And then his toe fills in the gap vacated by this panel. And then this comes in, and you see these two slots here. That lower slot was plugged into this tab. Now the tab is going to plug into the upper slot. And this tab here on the wheel is going to plug into that tab right there. And that is a leg all done. Let's do the same with the other leg. So rotate that inwards 180 degrees. Flip this out, flip this up, flip this out, collapse. Do the panel, then fold in, this heel already did it itself, but fold in the heel, collapse all this in, fold up the toe, plug this back in, plug that tab in, and these kind of plug in together. There's like one little tab there. And then these are going to go, and the idea is that you're going to adjust this guy as needed to be able to plug all this in, and it just slides right up. And then you've got a couple tabs back here. They're going to kind of find their homes. And you've got a couple tabs on the sides that I've got. Oh. I lost that tab there. Got to make sure that stays plugged in. And when you plug these doors in, make sure that this little tab plugs into that little hole right there. And that is basically that. Oh wait, one last thing. If you plug this down and then lift this up. And then this is far easier to do if you have access to the back of the chest, but I'm well past that point by now. You can, like I said, if I remember to do it when his chest was open before I put in the legs, then you can actually push them from the back, and it's a lot easier to get up. But you fold these out and then plug that hood back into place. Funny that as I was saying, funny that the side view mirrors are actually black. And then the rest of the vehicle body is gray. But he rolls, he's got clearance. He's got some undercarriage shit, but, you know, his legs don't get in the way. So, there's that. He doesn't have... I could have sworn there was a way. Yeah. Yeah. Pull that up and plug this dude into there. In the vehicle mode. There's no other way to use any of his other accessories in vehicle mode. In fact, come to think of it, this may be intended for vehicle mode only. I had to plug it tenuously to get that to work in robot mode. So maybe I'm just stupid and I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go with that for just a moment and say, hey, look, he's got a dish on top of him. Some cool little bit of greebling in there. But anyhow, that is Trailbreaker in his vehicle mode, and he rolls. Non-rubber tires, which is fine by me because I've got too many figures with tires that are starting to degrade. By too many, I mean, you know, my Hasbro ones. I actually haven't had a third party deteriorate that I know of. Fingers crossed. Where's a piece of wood? Knock on wood. Jeez. But yeah, that's the Masterpiece Trailbreaker. I think he's alright. If this is your thing and you really like first-party figures, then this is definitely your thing. If third-party figures are your cup of tea, then perhaps the Fans Toys or X-Transbots is going to be a little better for you. But, you know, they all look pretty good. I'm not going to lie. They all, to me, to my uneducated eyes, look like a pretty decent representation of Trailbreaker. But anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.